There is a rumor that Xpeng might actually adopt battery swapping and join either NIO or CATL, so let's have a look at what this could be. So this is where the rumor is coming from. Basically one of the business licenses that is public and online that you can see, in which they have a description of the business, in which they also list all of the business activities that the business is engaging in. And what you can see here that is highlighted is basically 机车换电设施销售. So that literally translates into battery swap facility sales. And why would you have this item listed in your company description if you didn't want to do anything with battery swapping? And it's not only in one of the companies aligned with Xpeng and in the descriptions of the business license, but actually can be found in 3 companies. But Xpeng was quick to respond to these rumors and was stating that the company's priority at the moment is to roll out more quality self-operated supercharging stations, and there is no information related to battery swap, at least for the current models. So I don't know about you, but for me that doesn't sound like a 100% denial that they will enter the battery swapping business. But interestingly, there is one analogy that has to do with Tesla. Because in February last year, I actually found that also in the Tesla China business license, there were similar changes, that they also included those words, and they have added it to the business license. But again, Tesla came out and denied the reports that they are going to look into the battery swapping business. And most importantly, they even removed the words from the business license later on. And so the denial by Tesla was much more clear, because basically they removed the part in the business license, so they are actually not even allowed to make activities in this kind of a business. But for Xpeng, it seems like they have still included it by now. And in the case of Xpeng, it's also maybe interesting that there has been a visit by Xpeng Motors to seek mutual cooperation with a company called XPT in the past. And what is XPT doing? Well, what you can see here in the background is this so-called EV skateboard, so the drivetrain technology, as well as the battery chassis here, and in the case of NIO, the battery swapping technology. All of this is included, and XPT is now a 100% owned company by NIO and producing all of these parts. And here you see the co-founder of Xpeng that is visiting this company. And back then, XPT and Xpeng Motors had an in-depth discussion of the feasibility of a cooperation on electric powertrain platform for upcoming projects. So on the one hand side, Xpeng is just stating that with the current models they're not looking into battery swapping, and on the other hand there seem to be those links with XPT, this NIO company that is already having the battery swapping technology, and they may actually engage in some projects for future models there. So what would this mean for NIO and Xpeng in the future? Well, in case that Xpeng would decide to actually really adopt battery swapping technology, then they might actually start to procuring these EV skateboards from XPT, this NIO company, and basically would have to pay this XPT company for procuring those parts, and would build their own models based on this platform. And that obviously is good for NIO, because they would receive those revenues. And on top of that, as far as I have researched it so far, Xpeng doesn't own any patents in the area of battery swapping technology. So meaning if they want to build their own stations, their battery swap stations, then at least they would have to pay NIO some royalties or licensing fees in order to start developing those battery swap stations that might actually be also Xpeng branded, or in case that they actually allow to work together, then possibly also the NIO stations would be open to Xpeng cars, and of course there would be also some revenues coming in for NIO. So in both cases, actually that would be the result, that NIO would receive some fees, licenses, revenues from Xpeng in this case. Another option would obviously be that Xpeng is looking at what CATL is doing with the announcement of EVgo, which is this own battery swapping technology developed by CATL. And of course, with the lower cost, lower margin products that Xpeng is selling, maybe it would make sense for them to adopt the CATL battery swapping, which should be open to many different providers, and thereby also adopt this kind of chocolate bar swapping technology there, and well, this may actually be a different solution to what NIO is offering there, and thereby still would enable Xpeng to actually adopt this technology at some point in time for future models. So what do you think about these rumors? Let me know down in the comments what you think might be viable. Anyways, enjoy the weekend and thank you guys for watching.